of time when it relates to development, ecology are looked at from an international student's perspective, or the time during which an international student attends college, whether that be right when coming to the U.S. or right after being in the U.S. for a while, as well as the timing of important events, whether those be family moves over with the student when he attends school in America, or birth of a sibling, diverse, or etc. Divert. Yeah. So, the second theory of note when looking at international students is Nancy Schosberg's transition theory. A transition defines as any event or non-event which results in changed relationships, routines, assumptions, and roles. However, it is important to note that transition theory consists of three types of transitions. The first one is anticipated transitions, which can happen unsurprisingly, unanticipated transitions, which can happen randomly, and non-events, which, while expected, do not always occur. It is important to examine an individual's context of when a transition happens, as well as the impact which a transition has on the individual, whether it be positive or negative. However, it is just as important to note that the factors which affect an individual's capability to manage a transition. The first is support, which looks at what type of social support is available. For instance, an international student who comes from Italy might be able to handle a transition better as opposed to another student who comes from Italy, just because one student attends an institution which has better support systems in place for international students. Supports can also be measured by looking at the stable support which is available for the individual, support which might be independent, and supports which might change. The second is self, which is crucial as it encompasses psychological resources and personal as well as demographic characteristics. An international student might have an awful time coping with transition due to having an ongoing problem with anxiety. The third is strategies, which is how someone might deal with the transition. For instance, counseling is a strategy which international students use to deal with transitions. And lastly, the fourth situation, which looks at what is happening as a whole, is situation which kind of just looks at what is happening in the whole. So, kind of just looking at all the stuff that I've studied, there are several implications / policy recommendations which I would have for colleges and such as they look at international students. The first one would be to just look at how first-year experience programs are set up. Now, first-year experience programs can be beneficial to students regardless of their subculture due to the essential skills which are taught and the connections with students which can make their peers and professors and the connections which students can make with their peers and professors during this time. However, there are very limited first-year programs for international students available. International students need to be set up with the right tools during the beginning of the semester so that they may succeed for the rest of the semester. Also, while there might be a temptation to separate first-year experience programs by international students and demographic students, the diverse interactions help each group grow in their cultural competency. The second implication / policy recommendation that I would have is that international students need to be made aware of where to find resources on campus. International students will often face many problems on as well as off campus. However, will not always know where on campus they can go to talk to someone about them. There needs to be an office on campus where they can go to bring up problems as well as off campus that they have had. The third implication / policy recommendation which I would have is for faculty and the staff at the institutions. It is important that the faculty and staff do their part for institutions in the U.S. to be welcoming and helpful to international students. For faculty, it is important to make classroom and academic expectations more clear through class discussions and course information, as well as by promoting an open and accepting classroom environment. Faculty who are advisors also need to make sure to learn about the different cultures of their students that they are advising, while seeking to find ways to best support them in and out of the classroom. And it is vital that the counselors on campus be made aware of the stress factors and challenges which international students struggle with. Lastly, student affairs professionals on campus need to look toward programs which promote diversity and inclusion on campus. Well, guys, that's all I had for my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you guys have a wonderful time with your family during this Christmas break. Thank you.